Hello, everyone. Ben Hart here from Natural Music, and today we are going to be talking about the building blocks and what does it take to create a fast Southern gospel style solo. A few weeks ago, I put out a random, while I was at a church shooting some other video, just a quick keep on the firing line, and that's a classic example of what those solos are supposed to sound like. And I've had just tons of questions, and instead of going note by note on all that, perfectly through that song, I'm going to just talk about what I was thinking about, because I genuinely did that. I've played that song before, but like I genuinely did it on the spot and just took different components of what I know that's supposed to make up. And had I know it was going to get a little bit of attention, I would have I would have maybe spent a little more time on the arrangement. But nonetheless, it got a little bit of attention, and so I had a lot of questions about it. So let's just talk about what it takes to make a song like that. And this can apply to a lot of just fast songs that want to build on that. So let's go to the big key of C. Everybody loves that. And let's talk about the first things first. You got to have your rhythm and your melody right. And I know this may be the boring part or whatever, but you got to, the left hand is what I get so many questions about as people try to build a Southern gospel style. And simply put, most of the time, the problem is they're so used to playing so big all the time, and they're not playing this fast, that they don't like to commit to a lighter sound. And so I'm just going to tell you, if you don't want to hear that today, I don't believe you can do a huge, octave chord left hand thing and make it as big as what you're normally playing, maybe in church, or if you're a church pianist. Nor do I want it to sound like that, just to be honest with you. So you got to commit to a lighter sound. So here's some options in the left hand, and we'll talk about some melody options, and we'll talk about the fun part, the licks. All right, there'll be ending licks. There'll be the hot licks. Yeah, everybody wants those. And I will show you some of those note for note and give you some options there. But first things first, let's get the foundation right. So we're in C, so let's go C, F, G. Maybe there's an A minor, depending on the song. And if you notice in that song, I played an intro, and then my left hand went to... All right, so I'm doing this with the C. C, E, and G, that's it. And I'm playing in this area. I don't want to get too far down in bass land because I wasn't alternating. A bass guitar would be going, or. And so if I get too far down here, you got to alternate with that bass. And so I wasn't. I was just kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, going to F. So just taking what I have in my pinky and then hitting the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And if you want to do kind of a lighter version where you go back and forth, you could take your middle finger and go 1, 2, and then go down here to G, 3, and then 4. So I'm alternating between these and hitting the E and G. I do that some, but honestly, when I'm going so fast, I just do that, truthfully. There's some different left-hand techniques, but those are basically what you have. And you're just coming into a nice, light, chopping guitar sound, basically. It's like you're doing, if you had a bass, you'd be going. If you have a bass, you can just do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, this isn't completely a left-hand thing, but so there's your two options. So learn to change chords. I can remember when I first wanted to just pay attention to my right hand, and I was trying to learn this. It's like breathing now. I say that and I'll mess up, watch. But I would basically put a shirt over my head or blindfold myself in an apartment in Bristow, Oklahoma during my first job. And master's voice, that's been a while ago. I was a young pup then. And not that I'm not now. C and E, so I would do this and try to change without looking at my left hand. I couldn't always do it at the beginning, but now I can. And I still glance over at my left hand, quite a bit. All right. So we have left hand techniques that you can do. And then you can do it in F. All right. So just commit to an acoustic guitar light sound there. Commit already. Quit trying to be the full orchestra and a full band and the percussion and the strings and it's so big and all the... all the time. All right, let's not do that all the time. That can work on some ballads and some things, but let's just not do it on the fast ones. All right, enough about that. Next thing, since we're playing light, this is why I like to do this. We can get single note licks out of our right hand or single note melodies. So like lighter. So if I was doing I'll Fly Away, I go. And I can play single note, little twinkles and all right. Or you can do octaves. Or like what I did on Keep on the Fire Line, I did these little 2-finger harmony things. I'm just doing, some chordal things, keeping the melody on the top finger. And then, and I might do some of this. All right. So you got octaves, you go, or harmony things, but since this is so light, these will pop out and you ain't got to play so hard. You could just turn up the piano or the keyboard, turn it up and play lighter. So much more tasteful. You'd be surprised at how light some of your favorite players are playing, so that way when they do and play harder, there's some place to go. So I can't emphasize that enough. Learn to play light and nice and pick your notes, and let your notes be filling by their choices rather than filling by how hard you're playing. Okay, enough rant about that once again. So you got octave lead, you got single note lead that you can play for whatever song you're playing. After you've learned your rhythm and you're changing chords in your left hand, you're establishing what chords you're playing in your left hand. And then you got some, like, definitely, before we get into the licks, we can do just straight up chord licks. So like when I went to that D, so I play the D7 in the left hand, so I can do that too. Or you can go. So let me see what I did there. Here's a D. All right, so I went. So see that 4-finger chord there? We're arpeggiating it, I think is the correct term. And we're staying right on there. So D to D, we're on a D there. Or you could do D7. I do that sometimes, but you could just do D to D, A, and F sharp in there. Or you can just, arpeggiate it, I go. So, all right, so I kind of do that little syncopated. And then I'm right there on that D, and so it goes to a G chord after that in this song, in Keep on the Firing Line. So I play this G, and I just keep it right there. If possible, I could go to a G and go. And I like to slide that minor third. And do the same thing, but I stay right here and go, since I'm already there, then I go, and I play within the 6 of that G, or it kind of looks like an E minor. So, play with that. So play with the notes of the chords and do different octaves of it. So you could do G, you could do B, D, and just roll those. Hit the octave and make little patterns and things, like I did. It's hard to get into it. So I'm done. Yeah, I went. So I just went da 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 da. Just kind of. I could do that and go up and make it a 7. So just learn to play. So there's a lot of arpeggiated things, and you could do that when I get to the chorus. See. Now D, G, I may do that different each time, but I'm just playing over the chord. And then adding some melody octaves in there. So there's a lot of octave leads and then arpeggiating of the chord. So there's some concepts for that. And I know you guys are wanting to know every note for this, but like I want you to apply this to your music. All right. So now let's talk about hot licks, ending licks, all those kind of things. There's going up and there's going down. I'm going to give you a few different options and see. This is the popular one. I think Anthony, I don't know if he's the one that originally did it, but he's definitely the one that made it popular. He went. So for those of you that like him, I can't remember who I heard it first do it, but All of us quartet guys have done it. That's for certain. And it's not even sometimes my favorite thing anymore, but is a crowd pleaser, and so I still do it, and people like it. Because we are doing music for other people, you know. I definitely have my own personal taste, but we got to remember who we're doing this for. All right, so all we're doing, think about, we are doing the major pentatonic scale with an E flat in there with the minor third. So if you don't understand what that means, the notes are C, A, G, E, cross over and do E flat, D, C, and then A again. And then while your thumb is there, we sneak over and do it again. We get our pinky there. C, A, G, E, E flat, or D sharp, whatever you want to call that. D, C, A, and then do it again. And then when you feel like ending it, depends on what octave or what time of the song you want to do that, after the A, you just finish it off with a C. So you can go. All right? And it'll be slow at first, and I do this at the beginning. I don't know if you can see this on the camera or not. If you can, I'm going C, octave C, and I go. And I just slide to that G, then start. So I did up here. I hit a few extra notes in there. All right, so that's the way down. So when you go, ooh, I kind of just, when I got down there, I didn't end on C. Hello everyone, Ben from Natural Music. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like more of these free lessons, there's a couple different ways you can do it. One, you can subscribe on our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that way you'll be notified every time we put up another free lesson. Also, you can sign up for our free email list, and we will send these straight to your inbox, and you'll have access instantly after you sign up to our free lessons page. And I think there's over 100 lessons on there as of today. And so enjoy that. Don't need your credit card number, nothing, just sign up completely for free. And for those of you that want to take it a little bit more serious, you can head over to naturalmusicstore.com and have access to everything that we have. There's all different types of courses for different skill levels that will teach you how to play gospel music, Southern gospel music, for your church or for your group, or if you're just wanting to better your playing and do it for your own enjoyment. There's lessons there from other artists. You know, some of my favorite artists have put out a few different lessons with this, and I think more of that is going to be coming, so we're excited about that. But if you would like to become a paid member, there are hundreds and hundreds of free lessons, all the way from solos, a lot of accompaniment. There's random lessons on there where we just talk about licks and tricks and rhythmic things and just all kinds of stuff in this style. So if you enjoy the Southern Gospel style of playing and you want to further your playing to the next level, go over there and become a subscriber to the website. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at your next lesson.